Hello again, Anna Schmidt here, house healer, paranormal clearing specialist and psychic development teacher. I love educating people about all aspects of spirituality, and today is no different. We're going to be talking about dark energies and how they affect our behaviours, how they change our behaviours, and some of the things to look out for. This is a large topic, like there's a massive amount of information in this topic, which I've written in a book that is coming out at the end of March 2022. So today is more an overview of some of the things to be aware of and to look out for when you're out there in public, when things change and you've been in a certain place. So let's get into it. What are dark energies? How do they affect our behaviours, and what to look out for? They are here as lower vibrational energy feeders. Now, what does that mean? We all, as human beings, create positive and negative emotions every day. All day, every day, with our thoughts, with our words, with our actions. There's no way to avoid it. We just do it. Now, the dark energy beings come in all different levels, all different varieties. They all have different tastes around what they like to feed off. So they're all feeder energies. Some of them love resentment. Some of them love shame. Some of them feed off loneliness, resentment. There's so many emotions. I'm not going to go through them all. You get the idea. So all of them, right down to the demonic level beings, they all just feed off our emotions and our trauma. So how to recognize when this has happened and when this has occurred? Because when I say they feed off our emotions, they can slip into our energy field sometimes. It's just a part of our human lives that we live. We're soul beings in these energy lines and chakras and all this energy in our living on an everyday scale. So these lower vibrational beings just feed off the lower vibrational emotions that we create. And usually it's the intensity of the way that you feel that emotion. I mean, you might say an offhanded, flippant comment about somebody. That's not going to draw a dark energy to you. If you're incessantly obsessing over someone, or you're creating really hateful thoughts about somebody, they're just going to hang around and feed off where you've left that emotional imprint, because energy creates imprints on everything that we touch, that we sit on, that we lie on. You know, it can be things that you handle, things that you make. You're in a low energetic state when you are making crafty items. You can imprint low vibrational emotions, things that you're thinking about at that time can be imprinted onto the object, and then someone buys it and they may be sensitive to the imprints that are printed on that item. And then the energies, the lower vibrational energies, can sometimes be drawn to that item in your home when you're wearing it. Because remember, they feed off the emotional imprints. They're not here to hurt us. That is not what they do. Why would they hurt their food source? Like, seriously, I have this conversation with so many people. They go straight into fear about dark energy and what they've seen in the movies. 99% of the stuff you see in the movies is just created as an adrenaline rush to keep you either heightened or in a really low state of fear. Right, so that's simply all it is. I deal with these energies all the time. They are feeders. How do they affect us? We've covered the why. How do they affect us? They can affect your energy within your home. Let's start with buildings. Your lights may flicker. You might have troubles with your plumbing. You may find that you're hearing noises in the nighttime because there's something moving around the house. The house just doesn't feel right, basically. You know how you just walk into a home sometimes, or a theatre, or you might go into a hospital, or you walk into a school and there's just that one spot that just doesn't feel right. And you can't see anything wrong with it, but you're just like, no, I'm not going to go near that. That's your intuition telling you there is something there, most likely an emotional energy point. Remember, an imprint that I've just talked about, and there's something there that's just feeding off that imprint. All right, they're not going to attach to you unless you've got some yummy food source that they are interested in. It's as simple as that. So some of the things you may notice are in the home. We've talked about the changes in the way the home feels. You can also feel that within yourself. If you have tears in your auric field, sometimes when you've been out, I'm going to give you an example. I have a friend who has a family member that she is constantly affected by because the family member carries dark energy for whatever reason, trauma, negative emotions that she carries. The sister who is connected to the sister who's carrying these emotions is just a sponge for picking up this emotional energy. And she'll message me and go, I felt great until I took such and such to the airport, or such and such went shopping with me, and now I just feel I can't think straight, my heart's pounding, I haven't slept for 2 nights, I can't eat. All of these signs, if they're not medical or a mental health issue, then they can be an energetic issue. I always send my clients to see their medical doctor and their mental health professional before I do energy clearings on anyone, because you just don't know what aspect of yourself the issue is coming from. But energetic attachments are real. I deal with them every day within myself, within the properties, within my clients, and they notice a marked difference in their behaviours, in their personality, in their eating and their sleeping patterns within that day or the next few days that the energies have been removed. Because you can imagine carrying around, this is an example I give all the time. Imagine carrying around a big backpack full of rocks. And along comes Anna, and you've got used to carrying this backpack full of rocks, and you're just getting around, and it's just life. That's what it is. And along comes Anna to do an energy field assessment and clearing. And all of a sudden, I start unpacking the rocks. Now, the rocks can be emotions, they can be trauma, they can be past life issues, they can be paranormal beings. And all of a sudden, you feel weird because that backpack is empty, and you're like, whoa, it's going to take me a while to adjust. So your body, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, your body needs to adjust to all that negative baggage being removed. This is why people will say to me in 2 or 3 days, oh, I still don't feel right. And I say to them, it's like going through a detox. It's not instant. Your body and your energy field has to readjust to not carrying around all that negativity and all those negative emotions and paranormal beings. I get them myself. Like, seriously, I'm known for creating resentment within myself. And I'm being totally honest here. I give it as a prime example. I have girlfriends who create overwhelm, worthless and unworthy, paranoia. It just seems that we all gravitate towards one particular emotion. I do my best, I must say, to not create resentment anymore. But it's just an example, is that I've had a disagreement with someone and they're just in my mind, and I'm going over and over the conversation or the situation or the way that the situation wasn't resolved, and I've created resentment towards the person for whatever reason, and it's there. So I've got resentment, and I may think about this person for days and days and days and days, and I'm building up this blockage of resentment. Because resentment is an energy, it's a vibration. We're just vibrational beings, which then attracts a dark energy being that feeds on resentment. So whether I've dropped it in the home, where I'm sitting right now, or on the couch, or it's just built up in my body, that energy being will be attracted to me. Now, I am super, super sensitive. The more spiritual work I do, the more of this paranormal work I do, the worse it gets. In one sense, actually, it is a positive thing because it helps me understand. And this is why I was able to write the second book about who dark energies are, signs and symptoms and so forth. Is it's helped me understand why they're here, what they do, and just how to avoid attracting them. So I know when they're in my space because my sleep patterns change. I eat a low carb diet. I just do. I don't eat chips, cake, biscuits. Try to avoid sugar altogether. And I know if I've come home from somewhere and I've bypassed the shop and I'm like, oh, they've got potato chips on sale for $1 a packet. I think, oh, I'll just buy a few packets to have in the house for a snack every now and again. No, I go home and I eat them all in one sitting. And then afterwards I go, I feel really sick now. And then I've got that craving for more chips and I'm like, hang on. So I know that certain food cravings for me are a sign that there are dark energy beings either in the home, but more so within my either physical body, energy field. So when I do clearings for people, as much as I clear myself, I will look at all those different layers. And you've got to unpack it like a detective to find out what they're attached to. So to stop the chip craving, this was at 10 o'clock at night. I had to go and get my pendulum, and I sat there and I did some dowsing and I went, yep, I could define where I'd picked up this energy because of where I'd been that day. So it's all about doing this work all the time. I clear myself every day, not because I want to, because I have to, because I'm inherently lazy about some things, but I just have to clear myself every day. Otherwise I keep attracting these beings. So I released this chip addiction that was coming from this energy being that just wanted me to eat way more chips, because when I eat chips I create guilt and shame because I'm supposed to be on a low carb diet. So these are some of the sneaky tricks that they use to feed off our energies. Things to be aware of physically, mentally and emotionally about how your physical body is going to change when dark energy is in your home or attached to you. Sleep patterns. You may experience insomnia when you're not normally an insomniac. And it's not the full moon, because that affects everybody. This is at random other times during the month. You may get panic attacks, nightmares, night sweats that aren't medically diagnosed or a medical issue. But sometimes you'll just feel unsettled, like there's someone in your space. You know how when a person is standing here and you're like, can you please stand back? Like a meter around my energy field. You know, people generally will not converse with you unless it's a partner or during intimate times. People will stand about 60 to 80 centimeters away from you. But you're feeling like there's someone in your space and you're like, I really just don't know what that is. There's someone around. Sometimes your bodily functions can change. Another prime example, I love giving examples. I have a motor disability with my hands and my legs. I generally do not drop things or trip over. But when I have dark energy in either my energy field, energy body or physical body, I will be tripping, falling, I will drop things with my hands. I have trouble holding a knife when I'm cutting. Now I know what my limitations are with my physical disability. When it changes, that's when I know there's something in my space. Now, if you've watched my channel for a while, you will know I also talk about the physical stuff as in motor skills verbally. Is that when dark energies get in my physical space, I'll know when they're in my physical body because my tongue doesn't work properly. I slur my words. I may say the wrong word or I stumble with my words. Biting my lip or my tongue when I'm eating is a prime example. And you might be, don't go into panic mode and thinking, oh, because you were biting your lip yesterday, that's a dark energy. Not necessarily the case. I'm just giving an example of what I know as my physical changes in my body. And because I've talked to a lot of my clients about this, they will message me now and go, oh, look, I've just been out to the supermarket. I've come back. I really feel unwell in the mind, in the body. I can't eat properly. And I'll go, yep, do you give me permission to tune in and do an energy field assessment and clearing? Yes, always need permission, have to be ethical about doing this work. And I will tune in, and generally it's a paranormal issue. They've picked up something when they've been out. Now, I don't just clear them and they're back to normal within a day or two. Behavioural and personality changes. Now, this is a biggie. If you notice a marked difference in yourself or a family member or a pet, now this works for animals as well, they become more introverted, more extroverted. And this isn't just once, this is continual. Their behaviour towards you changes markedly. They may be a really quiet, sort of welcoming, friendly person, and all of a sudden they're really aggressive and abrupt, and they're throwing things, and their sleep's not. It's about putting together all the symptoms. Their sleep is not happening, and they're waking up with nightmares, and they're yelling at you, and you're like, there's something not wrong, there's something not right with this person. Take them to the doctor, get their mental health looked at, and if that comes back with, we can't find anything, they look normal to us, see an energy clearer. Because dark energy will adapt a person's personality. So things such as eating patterns can change quite considerably. Remember the chip story I told earlier. You may find that you're eating more or you're eating less, or it can be the way that you eat. I'm going to give another example here. I'm making myself really vulnerable giving you these examples, but I'm doing it for your education. They're laughing at me. I can hear them. I know when there's dark energy in my physical nature, in my physical body, because my eating pattern, the way I actually eat, changes. Generally, I'm a slow eater because I'm low carb. I like to make my meal last quite long and chew lots and lots and lots of times so that my brain's going, she's eating 2 meals a day, intermittent fasting and so forth. When I have dark energy in my energy field and I'm eating something, if I'm eating at a very fast pace or not chewing properly or not swallowing properly, like this is extreme. I just don't want to use the words. You know where I'm going with this. I'm like, hang on, that's not me. That is not me. Now, it might not be just once, but I'll monitor it over a day and I'll go, yep, there's something here. Because these energies can sometimes be cloaked. Excuse me, I'm swallowing. Or they can be attached to us via psychic cords. Because psychic cords are just energy cords between us and our loved ones, between us and our friends and us and our pets. They carry positive emotions, but they can also carry negative emotions as well. But the dark energy beings have tuned into this, and they can actually sync psychic cords into your energy field and feed off your negative emotional build-up, but they can also affect you in ways. So this is where you've got to be aware of what your energy's like, what your eating habits are like, and what your sleep pattern's like. And then you notice the changes. This is why I get clients coming, yep, I know I've got something here because this has happened to me today and it hasn't happened for months. And I'm like, yep, give me permission, way, done, do the job. Person goes back to normal. So you're actually helping them to advance themselves and with their personal growth because they're owning it. They're owning their stuff that they're creating. Dark energies are great teachers for getting us to deal with our shadow selves, getting us to deal with negative emotions that we create, like my example of resentment. There you go. I'm just going to say it again. I create resentment. But now I'm aware that I work on not creating it. So if I've had a disagreement with somebody, is that I'll go, okay, we're parting our ways. This is what I'll be saying in my mind, or I'll be doing the self-talk thing, is that I'll just be talking myself through the process. Such and such and I need to part ways now. This is how it is. And I let go of the attachment to it. Because attachment is what gets the dark energy beings in. When we're attached to something and we're obsessive and we focus on it intently, in they come to feed off the energy that we are creating. Everything in the universe is made of energy. When you're out and about, you may meet a new person and you feel a bit weird or strange after you've been away from them. So just monitor yourself for a day or two and see if your energy returns to normal or not, or if something worsens. You may have gone to a new location. Could be a building, could be a piece of land, it could be a mass gathering of people. These are prime places, whether schools, hospitals, aged care facilities, funeral homes, music concerts, the pub, anywhere. Like I go to a market and I'm picking up energies from this market all the time because they're out and about feeding off us because we are emotional energy food sources. So just be aware of where you've been, write it down. If you can't clear it yourself, you've been to the doctor, and you've been to the doctor recently, and you know your mental health is good, talk to an energy clearer, because they are going to be able to tune in to that energy being that is there and to help disconnect what it is connected to. Okay, I hope you found this interesting today. I will be talking a lot more about dark energy beings from an educational process so that you understand who they are, what they are, why they are here. So just be aware of when your behaviours change, when your personality changes. Have you been at a certain place? Were you around someone that made you just feel really, really creepy? Because people like that have got stuff attached to them. And if you're vulnerable, those energy beings are going to go, oh yeah, she looks like a good food source. I might make a little jump across. And then you need to see someone like myself to get them cleared. All right? Have a good day. Think about what we've talked about. Adopt it as part of your lifestyle. It's about awareness and intention, as I always talk about on my YouTube channel. Have a good day. Look after each other, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.